hello, 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 and welcome to my live. You are welcome to Contemporary Views. Good evening. Hello, and welcome to my live. You are welcome. Hello, and welcome to my live. Greetings to you, wherever you're watching. Greetings to you. Thank you for joining. You're welcome to Contemporary Views. And my name is Gillian. On Contemporary Views, we discuss contemporary issues, trending issues that are happening around us. And today is Sunday. Happy Sunday to you all. I have a word or two to talk about Cameroonian superstar Samuel Eto'o and his deal at Fecafoot. For those of you who is Samuel Eto'o is for those of you who don't know who Samuel Eto'o is, hi, you're welcome to my live. Thank you for joining in. When you join, do well to share the live. Tambe, hi, thank you for joining. Tambe, hi, thank you for joining. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to like the video and then share the live, all right? Like the video, share the live. If you've not subscribed to the page or the channel, Tambe, thank you so much. If you've not joined, if you've not subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe, all right? We are going to be having a guest today, my very own friend. She'll be joining me on this topic because we feel that one person can't handle the topic. Let's handle that topic together so that we can give you all the information you need to know. So I'm giving a shout out. Thank you so much, Tambe. Thank you so much. If you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe. Keshav, thank you for joining my live. You're welcome to my live. Thank you so much for joining. If you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe, all right? So you get notifications when next I'm live. I need you to like the video. It's supposed to be an active video. It's supposed to be an interactive video. We are talking football today, okay? We are talking about Cameroon's Samuel Eto'o. Yes, he is also the president of Fecafoot, that's Cameroon Football Federation. He is the president of Cameroon Football Federation, but you all know him. He is the most decorated player on the African continent. We need to give him his credit. He's done so much as far as Cameroonian football is concerned. So we need to talk about it today. So today I send a big shout out to all my Cameroonian people watching, to all my Cameroonian fans. When it comes to football, Cameroon is a powerhouse. You can't deny them that. In as much as so many people come on here to ask questions, Cameroon today, we are talking about Cameroon. It's football and Africa's one and only Samuel Eto'o. So thank you all so much for joining the live. You can comment where you're watching, where you're joining in from. Do well to like the video when you join, all right? So let's go into the video. It's already 5 minutes. Now, on contemporary views, we discuss contemporary issues. Yes, I bring you details on trending issues, things that are happening like right before you. Yes, but we are a bit different on contemporary views because we take home some lessons. Okay, so a lot has been happening in the football area. Tambe says he doesn't watch football. Yes, you just have to listen because this concerns the entire Africa, and it has a lot to do with sportsmanship. All right. On different days we have different topic, but this particular Sunday I want to talk football because it is something that is on the trends today. All right. After the live, you can go ahead and watch some of my videos that I created during the week, last week, 2 weeks ago. I have lots that is going on my channel and on my page on Facebook. Okay, so like I was saying, just a brief introduction. Samuel Eto'o, yes, he used to be a footballer. He plays for Cameroon. He's a Cameroonian national, and he has played in several clubs across Europe. He is very famous to the African continent because he is still the only and the most decorated player on the African continent. He has close to 46 personal trophies to his name. Yes, he is one of the only players after George Weah who has been to the second position of Ballon d'Or, though he did not win, but he was there, and he was with great talent. He has brought so much glory to the African continent and to the Cameroonian people. So I want to use this avenue, this platform, this day, to celebrate him and give him his flowers and give him his credits. But before we had Samuel Eto'o, we used to have Roger Miller. In Cameroon, they call him Roger Miller, but our Nigerian friends and other people call him Roger Miller. Tambe, I talk on any trending topic that comes to me. I do some investigations and I bring it to you. I talk on so many topics, all right? It's just that today you have come in when I'm talking football. Unfortunately, you're not a fan, but we have to talk about it, all right? Maybe tomorrow you get a different topic, but anything that is trending, I bring it to you. So just sit in tight, and then with an open mind, I'm sure you're going to enjoy the show, all right? Yeah, so we're talking about Samuel Eto'o today. So personally, under his belt, he has a lot going on for him. He did so well in his football career. Yes, he has lots and lots of interesting news around him right now. So that is what we'll be discussing today. So I have someone who is going to join into the live. She has lots to say about Samuel Eto'o, and then I also have a second person who will also be joining. Yes, we need to talk about Samuel Eto'o today. They too have lots of things to talk about this guy. But let me just give you a brief introduction or a brief foundation, because usually I explain the topic and then give you a foundation so you would know why we are talking about why we bring the topics we talk about every day here. So the reason we are talking about Samuel Eto'o today is because a lot has been going on around him, and it has been trending on the news for quite a while. So I decided to make today that day that we will talk about him. Samuel Eto'o is currently he is UNICEF ambassador. He used to be an ambassador for 1xBet. Thank you so much, Tambe. He used to be an ambassador for 1xBet, and currently he is the FA president of Cameroon's football federation, which is called Fecafoot. So for some time now, hi Ali, welcome to the live. If you are joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe, all right? So for the first time, Samuel Eto'o is on the news, or he's been on the news for quite a while because he's been having lots of problems in his job concerning Fecafoot. A lot has been happening in that sphere, so he's been on the news like every other day. The long and short of it is, according to some stipulated laws by the football governing body FIFA, he has some responsibility that he must carry out directly as the Fecafoot boss. That is the FA president. For those of you who don't know what Fecafoot is the football Cameroon Football Federation. It is called Fecafoot. Cameroon Football Federation is called Fecafoot. Hi, Tambe. My name is Jillian. All right. Cameroon Football Federation is called Fecafoot, and Samuel Eto'o happens to be the boss. Now, this is not a position that is being appointed. He was duly elected, all right? He was elected to that position. So it is not like we need to drag him over a position that he has been elected to. It's an office that he was the best. When they did the selection, the people voted him into office. And he has been doing his best for the Cameroonian people and for the Cameroonian football to grow. Smoke, thank you for joining. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to like the video and subscribe. So now, the thing is, he has been facing a lot of challenge as far as his job as FA president of Cameroon is concerned. He's been in the news a lot. That is because he's been facing challenges with members of the ministry in Cameroon, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and a coach, or the coach that is currently coaching the Cameroonian national team. You won't deny that Cameroon national team has 5 trophies and the second highest after only Egypt. So they have the second most participation in World Cup. So it is a typical football nation. They are not new at all. They are not new in the football sphere. They have a lot of credit as far as it is concerned. Also, other Cameroonian nationals playing in Europe, across Europe, Africa, and maybe Southern America, they are doing so well. Cameroon is noted for its sportsmanship because they have always produced the best. You cannot mention football and mention 3 nations in Africa without calling Cameroon. Whether people like it or not, this is something that it is due to them. We can't deny them. And today we are discussing all the challenges that Samuel Eto'o has been facing since he became FA president in Cameroon. So, welcome everybody. Facebook, welcome. YouTube, welcome. Thank you so much. If you're joining in for the first time, this is Contemporary Views. My name is Jillian, and you are welcome to my live. All right. Today we are discussing Samuel Eto'o and Fecafoot. There's been a lot of news around the guy, so we need to talk about it. All right. So I will be inviting I'll be inviting my co-host now so that she can join. She has a lot to say. Tambe, I'm from Cameroon. Where are you watching in from? Where are you joining in from? This is an interactive show. Yes, if you have anything to say. Hey, Elena, you're welcome to my live.
Thank you for adding me. Wow, thank you for joining. Thank you. I think today we are talking about Samuel, the one and only Samuel Eto'o.
Yes.
Yeah, Samuel Eto'o. Yes, is someone who has worked his way.
And then give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay, moment. Those of you watching on YouTube, we have somebody participating on Facebook. She is my co-host. We planned this show together. If you are just joining in, you can follow her on Facebook. Her name on Facebook is Critical Thinkers. She has details that she will be sharing to us today. So please, those of you on YouTube, go ahead and follow my co-host Critical Thinker on Facebook. She's there and she has a lot. Tambe, thank you so much, and please let us give her the audience, let us give her the floor, because she has lots of things to share with us today. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I was saying that thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I really love Eto'o because he's a definition of hard work. Like, this is somebody who has worked his way to the top, from grass to great. One new bell boy, just had a dream in football and worked his way through. But like you said, he's done well internationally. Samuel Eto'o is not only an African icon or a Cameroon icon, he's an international star when it comes to football. Like, he has changed the game. He made his time and he did his best as well in the sport. He's played for English teams like Chelsea, Everton. He's even played for Real Madrid and I think Barcelona. So lately he retired. We all know he retired and he decided to come back home. You've been out there doing your best. You've given your best to, outsiders, and you want to come back home and change things and work hard and change things. We know how Cameroon and Africa came back home to take the very best, what he has seen out there, to people back home. But it's not been easy. It's not been easy because we know how political everything is in Cameroon.
Exactly.
Fecafoot, which is supposed to be, an autonomous body, is now something that they have to drag with ministers. Political. Everybody wants to put in their opinion. Everybody wants to make sure that they are heard, or they give the orders, or what can I say? They give orders and all. It's all about. Unfortunately, that's what it is in maybe Cameroon and maybe Nigeria and many other African countries. Everything seems to be political. So they continuously facing a lot of dragging and I don't know if I should say backlash from people around him. And the latest one is the Fecafoot one, where players had to play, I think, in Douala, Gillian.
Yes.
And bring it here. They had this football game with I forgot the team.
Malawi. They were supposed to play Malawi, and then
I thought it was Namibia.
And Namibia, sorry.
Okay, Namibia.
And
so
then
they had
Zimbabwe.
This playing, and just to let you guys see the political mixing of the whole thing. So they had this football game to play with Malawi in Cameroon, and that was supposed to be played. Sorry guys, my girl is a bit tablet wahala. Take. So they had this football game to play in Cameroon, in Douala, and I think for some reason the minister, which is a minister for what, said that due to the weather condition, the game should be played in Yaoundé, because the excuse was that the weather, rain would disturb the game, so the game should be played in Yaoundé. But Eto'o as well is not that guy who easily say yes or easily just give him to instructions like that, or maybe simple instructions like that. So Eto'o did not agree to that. He said, okay, Yaoundé weather is similar to that of Douala, so I'd rather have the match the players go to Garoua, so that's where the whole tussle and argument started. Minister said no Douala because of the weather. You guys come to Yaoundé, and I think the coach is siding with the minister. It's become a political war, a political thing, to be honest. And I really fear for Eto'o as well. I don't want that going. So that's how the latest dragging of the football wahala started in Cameroon. You guys don't play in Douala because of the weather. Minister say come to Yaoundé, then it say no. Okay, if you guys don't want it to play in Douala, it means that Yaoundé and Douala have similar weather. So let's bring the match to Garoua. That's where the whole wahala started. So it was a confusion, and unfortunately, the players that put the players are in the middle. Not, I feel I don't know. Maybe they took side. For me, I said they took side with the minister or with politics instead of Fecafoot that called them to come and play. They took side, so they went to Yaoundé instead of going to Douala where Fecafoot was waiting for them. They followed the minister and they followed the coach. So for some reasons, maybe the players are not really. Why did they go to Yaoundé instead of Douala, where their president of Fecafoot was there waiting for them? It's a question mark, and that says a lot about maybe the leadership issue or the leadership thing going on in Fecafoot. Though, is it that the players don't trust Samuel Eto'o? Is it that they don't like Samuel Eto'o? Or why did they to follow Yaoundé instead of Garoua or Douala, where their president or the Fecafoot had said that they should go? So, Ginga, do you want to chip in?
Yes, for sure. I'm just going to make a little bit of correction there. What you have said is like giving a foundation to what has been going on. Yes, exactly. There's not been a great relationship between the FA president Samuel Eto'o and the Ministry of Sport in general. Now there is a text that controls football in every country, in every nation in the world, and it is in that text that every football federation in each country oversees everything that has to do with football on international standards in that country. It means that if they have to participate in any competition, the FA president and his team have the prerogative to take decisions based on that. And now in this particular situation, it's not like it started now. This thing has been happening ever since the Cameroonian coach was deposed. We used to have Rigobert Song at the head of the Cameroonian national team as their selector. So unfortunately, after 2 years of him serving, his contract was not renewed. When the contract was not renewed, the ministry had to bring in someone else. This exactly was not amongst the choices the FA president had requested, because as FA president you have the right to choose who you want to be the coach of the federation of the national team, but the ministry as well can also decide on that. So the three people Eto'o chose, none of them were selected. The minister gave a simple reason that they were too costly, because there was Jose Mourinho, there was Hervé Renard, and one other coach. There were three of them. Hervé Renard has a good history here in Africa. He has won the Nations Cup with Cote d'Ivoire and with Zambia national teams. So he has a great portfolio, and he was the best person for the job as far as it is coaching in Africa is concerned. Someone like Jose Mourinho may not be able to come to Africa because he is doing so fine over there in Europe, but Eto'o named him as one of the possible coaches that could come down to Cameroon to salvage the situation, because Cameroon is a big football nation, but the nation has not been doing well as far as football is concerned, so they needed to salvage the situation. Now when the choices of Eto'o was overruled, the minister now brought in someone he felt that can do the job, and this is a Belgian tactician by name Marc Brice. Excuse me guys, Cameroon is a bilingual nation. They speak French and English, yes, so some of the words you will be hearing, maybe I'll pronounce it in French because the Cameroonians will identify with that name. In English, you would hear people say Marc Bright, but in Cameroon, it is called Marc Brice because it is easier that way. Most of the things here are done in French. So if you hear me interchangeably refer to him as Marc Bright or Marc Brice, just know that it's the same person. He is a tactician at the head of the Cameroonian team. Now, when this man was appointed, what I did personally was to go to his portfolio and check. I wanted to see who was going to replace Rigobert Song, because I didn't want a mediocre coach to replace Rigobert Song, because Rigobert Song had done so much for the nation at the time. He said that he had a particular...
Just coach for 2 years.
Exactly, but in the 2 years, you would agree with me that the team did not do well at all, because he was for the fact that they needed to construct a new team. So his 2 years was chantier. Guys, chantier in English is like what's chantier in English?
Chantier is
like a foundation building up something. Chantier is like the ground levels of something. Yeah. So he said that the national team was at the level of the chantier, and that he was going to groom his players so that they can grow together, because the team was the players were dying out. Yes, they were all aged, so they needed to build a new team, and as such, he was not interested in the trophies at the time, because they didn't have that team to bring home trophies, but they could build a team. So he is at the level of the chantier. Chantier is like the basic level of construction, the foundational level of construction. So he was trying to build a team that would later gain glory, just like the Senegalese did. Senegalese were out of action for so many years. It took the Senegalese coach 9 years, 7 or 9 years to be able to win the African trophy for the first time. The CAF African Nation Cup for the first time. Yeah, but he was at the helm.
When you start from scratch, it's definitely going to take time. And maybe the beginning might not be as fruitful as people want, especially when it comes to football. But for me, I think 2 years was small for the trial period.
Exactly, but the Cameroonian people did not agree with the coach Rigobert Song, because they felt that Cameroon is not a nation that lacks football. The truth is, all the leagues that you have in the world, most of the leagues that you have in the world, you have Cameroonians who are playing in those leagues, and they are doing so well in their club. So this is what was used to judge the players that Cameroon has. So they felt that starting another team or building a team was really not necessary, because they already had the talents placed all over the world. So the strategy of Rigobert Song was to go to Europe, to all the clubs that he knows that Cameroonians are playing in, and to bring them from their clubs back to the country so that they can play. But be it as it happened, it didn't go on well, because I want to believe that there was lack of correlation amongst the players. There was lack of bonding amongst the players, because everything that he planned did not work out as planned. And as a result, we got an early exit from CAF, a Nations Cup. So the Cameroonians were kicked out of the competition, and unfortunately, it was also towards the end of the coach's tenure. So his contract was not renewed. So many people were angry at him. I want to say that at that period, he was the most insulted person in Cameroon ever at that time. People insulted him irrespective of his achievements, irrespective of his age, irrespective of his effort. They just rubbished him. So he had to leave, and now the minister now appointed someone who took over from Rigobert Song. So now, personally, when Magris took over, I went online to search for his portfolio, and when I read his portfolio, I was not impressed at all, because I did not think that this is somebody who was good enough for the job. If you are saying that Rigobert Song is not a good coach, bring somebody who is better than Rigobert Song. Do not bring somebody who is not good enough as well, and then to have him, just because of would I say skin color or something, have him play a role that he may not be able to do so.
I always feel like both people can do better, whereas
exactly my point. So, but why I had that thought was because of the portfolio that I read. You cannot be dismissing someone who I'm just like trying to draw. I'm just like trying to make an example. You cannot be dismissing someone who has played 50 matches, has 25 draws, 20 losses, and then 5 wins, to bring in someone who has also played 50 matches, and then he has 30 draws, maybe 10 wins, and then 10 losses, something like that. That's how the result looked like. It's not like Mark Breeze had a better portfolio than Rigobert Song. Plus, Rigobert Song has been the coach with, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a Gabonese under 20 team. He was also the coach with Cameroonian under 20 team for some time before becoming the coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. So I want to believe that based on the analysis on Mark Brees' portfolio and that of Rigobert Song's own was stronger than his own. So I didn't have any doubts that when this man is going to join the Cameroonian national team, he wouldn't bring anything of importance, anything new to what we are already going through. But I was not quick to make that judgment because I wanted to see him play out his own matches, and then we'll see how we'll see the kind of improvements that he has brought.
The outcome of it.
Okay,
but then
so
again,
now,
I don't get it. Why would a minister appoint a coach? Is that the role of the minister, or is that the role of the Fecafoot?
I was going to get to that. No, it is shared. Actually, from what I understand, the Fecafoot president can choose the coaches. The minister can influence the choices. Since the coach is being paid from the ministry, but he is supposed to be hired by the FA, by the Football Federation. That is what I understand so far. So the three people that were chosen by the FA president were costly. So Mark Brees now was coming in, influenced by the minister because he is less costly.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now the coach came in and was answerable directly to the minister, but that is not how things are supposed to obtain according to FIFA laws. According to FIFA laws, the FA is responsible for everything football in any nation, and the FA operates as an autonomous body, free from the Ministry of Sports. Remember that the Ministry of Sports is the overall boss of all other FAs, like Fecafoot, Fecahan, Fecajudo, Fecacyclist, Feca whatsoever. All of them belong to the ministry. But in Cameroon these days, the way I see on the news, it looks like the ministry wants to take over the affairs of Fecafoot, particularly when it comes to sports. Cameroon is a blessed nation. They have so many sporting activities that they are excelling in. Right now, the bodybuilders are in Manila. They are doing so well. The under-20 Lions just got evicted from under-20 World Cup that was happening in Colombia, if I am not mistaken. We also had participants at they were in Paris. They were kicked out with no athleticism. They were kicked out from the competition with no medal. Recently, African Athleticism Championship organized and hosted by Cameroon themselves. They wasn't even on the news. We got to see snippets of the event on social media. The Cameroonian people themselves were not even aware, because I had to ask one or two people what is going on as far as that competition is concerned. So we just saw snippets, from a lot happened there that was not good, that so it was not something that people could proudly say that yes, this competition happened in Cameroon, and this that. There was no news. Let me put it that way. There was no news. But now the minister doesn't see all these other he doesn't see all these other sporting activities going on around the world, but he just focuses on whatsoever Fecafoot is doing. All right. So now the most recent news, the most recent that has been making news was the playoffs for CAF qualification for the next Nations Cup. So Cameroon was supposed to face Namibia here in Cameroon. So the Namibians were supposed to play, and the FA president is in charge of all that was supposed to happen. So he chose the stadium. Yes, FA president in the person of Fecafoot boss Samuel Eto'o, yes. He chose the club, the field, the stadium, chose the hotels that they were going to use, chose the towns, he did all that arrangement, but the minister would just not oblige. And I want to make you all understand that it is not the first time the minister is doing something like this. Yes.
And you guys, you get what I said when I said everything is kind of politicized. Like something that was meant to be football, Fecafoot, you see that it's a tussle between politics now. And how do we expect players to even excel in this kind of atmosphere? For me, this is just a tip of an iceberg coming out. This is because players are in the middle, the minister is saying A, Fecafoot is saying B, and you have to decide where to go. And for me, this, like I said, is the tip of an iceberg. The player, the atmosphere alone, for me, will not even, mentally, might not even enable these players to excel the way they are supposed to. Go on, Gillian.
Thank you all so much for joining in. Thank you if you're just joining in now. Like the video and share the video. If you've not subscribed on my channel or on my page, please do so. This is an interactive show. If you have something to say about the issues going on around Cameroonian-born Samuel Eto'o, who is FA's president, and Fecafoot, you can drop in your comments there. I had lots of people asking certain questions. Then I decided to come on live with this piece so that we can understand and know what is going on around Samuel Eto'o and Fecafoot. You must understand, those of you who do not know, Samuel Eto'o is Cameroon's Ebonge Martin, thank you for joining. That's the power of critical thinking. Yes, it is.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you so much for joining in. All right. Just like I was saying, Cameroon, Samuel Eto'o is Cameroonian and Africa's most decorated player. Yes, he has a lot under his belt on personal levels and on continental levels, as well as internationally. He did so well. So now he has a challenging job being the president of Cameroon's Football Association, which is Fecafoot. Yes, and that job has not been easy for him because he has been facing a lot of persecution, a lot of challenges. Yes, I have other nationals who have been talking. Recently, there was an outing by player Adebayo. He should be a player from
Adebayo. Ivory Coast.
One of those francophone African countries. Yes, he was saying that
Ivory Coast or Congo, something like that.
No, it should be Ivory Coast, I think. But he was like, that's a player that is not being respected in his country. That's a man that's not being respected in his country. They are not giving him the credits that he deserves, that he is a legend who is still living, and he has a lot of experience when it comes to the word football. When it comes to the sphere of football, he has been doing so much. It's not like he's a novice there. He has the experience. He knows the in and outs of football. And he himself is a perfect example because it is a situation of grass to grace. He was born in Douala. He didn't have anything under his belt. He played football and he made it to the international. Okay, someone saying Adebayo is from Togo. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sheriff, you were supposed to be joining the live. Are you ready to join?
Yeah, Samuel Eto'o has been out there. He's seen the world. He's seen the goodness, of good policies, democracy, and he's gone back home to do his best. But then I believe that Cameroonians and us, many of us are not used to these, straight things. It must be bend for people to see that it's good. We are not used to seeing people doing the right thing. And so when you do the right thing, people see it like you're too boastful, you overknow, you want to show, but you're just trying to do what is right. I think a lot of people are not used to it. A lot of people are just used to seeing things being done in, should I say, mago way. And then Eto'o is trying to do it right, and people think he's just overdoing his own job. So again, what can you say that players decided to go So Yaounde, Fecafoot called them, not is it minister. Fecafoot called them, Fecafoot sign up for them. And yet they chose to go to the minister or to Yaounde, to their coach, instead of going to Eto'o. Is there something not going on right with Eto'o? Why did his players not follow him? Eto'o?
I don't want to believe that the problem is Eto'o here. The problem is would I say greed at a high level? Would I say lack of communication? Would I say confusion? Would I say well, in Cameroon there's freedom of speech, but freedom of speech is not guaranteed after speech. So there are some limitations when you talk about activities around Cameroon. You should be more watchful of the things you say, because there's also the possibility of extraditement. You can be extradited to that country to face the law. So now your question is
from Nigeria, please.
you never can tell. You never can tell. You never can tell. The law in Cameroon looks like there is no law there over there. But when you're found wanting, then you get to understand. Now, from what I understand, why the players the players did not go directly to Garua where they were supposed to play the match is because the ministry, yes, under the minister, had
Was that betrayal?
Well, I don't really know what transpired internally, but what I know is the Fecafoot president was supposed to choose the pitch they were supposed to use, the hotels they were supposed to use. In fact, he was responsible for all the arrangements. And say a couple of months before any arrangement, they're supposed to have had all these arrangements communicated to the other country that is coming to play. For instance, if they were supposed to, since they were supposed to use the Garua field to play, they had communicated it to Namibia, so Namibians knew that when they get to Cameroon, they are going to Garua, for instance. Now, it is the prerogative of the FA president to invite all the players that have been called up for the match. That is why you have a list being broadcasted before a match happens. If you are not selected for that match, your name will not be on that list. When that list is published now, the FA president now writes individually to the clubs of the players in Europe. If you are playing, let's say in Chelsea, the FA president writes to the club that Chelsea or Manchester, we need Onana to come and participate at the national level, and Manchester is going to release Onana to Fecafoot, to the FA, to the Football Federation, and not to the ministry. So it is the right of the FA president to communicate to the clubs to release the players to come down to participate in their country. So I believe that
Now, say thank you, Bonga Martins, for his contribution.
Okay, so I believe that if it's the FA president that demands for you to come in, you should come to where he has reserved for you to stay. But this did not happen because the minister had another arrangement. Like I earlier mentioned, it is not something that happened only recently. This thing has been happening for some time now. Ever since the coach came to this country, he has declared that he is answerable to the minister, and because the ministry and Fecafoot are not in unison, they are not working together as they should work, it is a tug of war. Whatever Fecafoot says, the ministry must contest, and whatever the ministry contests, says the Fecafoot must contest. But this is because they are trampling on the rights of the FA president, because there are certain things that he is the one who is supposed to do it. For instance, he had already communicated that the field they're going to be using is Garua. Now, this is the rainy season. Yaounde has 2 rainy seasons and 2 dry seasons. At this particular point in time, there's a possibility for you to meet rains in Yaounde. Based on that, the FA president decided to take the match to Garua, which is dry, which is in the north. That according to weather forecast, there's not going to be any sun in any rains in the north. But the minister did not want that to happen. He wanted the match to be played in Yaoundé. So that is how he communicated to the players to come back home, but move to Yaoundé and lodge in Yaoundé. And now they were left with the challenge to communicate Namibia's FA. But Namibia's FA informed the ministry that they would get any communication only from the FA, because that is how it works. FA to FA, not ministry to FA. Their football federation will only get information from Cameroon's football federation and not from Cameroon's ministry. So the minister was left to decide for the players now to move to Garua. Initially, the FA president was waiting for them. The FA president was waiting for them in Douala, but they did not arrive Douala. They rather went to where the minister had to receive them in Yaoundé. So they moved from Yaoundé now to Garua, say 2 days to the match. It was really a tug of war because the FA president got so disappointed with the attitudes of the players. He went down to take the under 20 boys. And yes, exactly, because he said that there's no way he is expecting people to come to his country to play a match and then Namibia is going to come in and win by forfeiture, because if you are playing and you don't come to the field, automatically the other team wins by forfeiture. So there's no way he was going to let go of the points to Namibia, so he had to prepare the under 20 boys to go and play. So the under 20 boys were called up and they rallied in Douala, in the hotel where the main team was supposed to stay. They stayed there for a couple of days, and on the same day they were supposed to fly to Garua to face the Namibian national team. That is how they got a call from the prime minister, who asked all of them, who asked the plane not to fly, the plane to stay, and then they walked the boys. They walked the boys to the hotel, yes, and then had them waited while they were making arrangements for the main team to go down to Garua. But it is said that happened like 3 days before the match, and 2 days before the match, the coach will not release the passports of the players so they can get registered, because they call up some people and they don't come. So they needed to take the passports to know that they are present so they can register them. But just give me a moment. Let me see some interesting comments there.
Yeah.
Critically thinking, in a country where the law ends on library shelf, this kind of disorder is just inevitable.
The disorder is one that I have never seen in my whole life. That's terrible.
Exactly. We fight us and celebrate.
Like I said, players are in the middle of all of this, confused, Before you get into the field, how do you expect to get the best out of these players when the atmosphere is so
toxic?
Yeah, Ebonga Martin is saying again that we fight hours and celebrate foreign, whether now spoil wheels. Exactly. Whether now winning spoil wheel, now God you wonder.
So I was going to explain the foundation of this problem, because it didn't start just when they were supposed to face Namibia. It all started when the new coach came into the country and was supposed to have his first working session with the FA. All right. On that same day, the minister had sent representatives that were not accepted by Fecafoot, because when you appoint a coach, there is what is known as the technical bench. Now it is the prerogative of the FA to appoint the members of the technical bench. But the minister had gone ahead, since he had been the one who hired the coach. He went ahead to create, he appointed members of that technical bench, and that was not acceptable by FIFA, by CAF, and the FA president at all. So that is where their first problem started. So when they had the first meeting in Chinga is in Yaoundé, where the FA headquarters is. The coach was supposed to be there. Now he was accompanied by all the other members that had been appointed to the technical bench by the minister. All right. So when they got to the FA president's office, he said he recognizes the coach, but he doesn't recognize the technical bench because he is yet to announce his technical bench. So he now announced his technical bench, and the ministry denied the technical bench. So that is where the bras de fer started, the arm wrestle in English. That is where it started. Ebonge Martin is saying unnecessary bras de fer. Exactly. Bras de fer means arm
Minister always
wrestle.
trying to appoint. Why is the ministry always trying to appoint and appoint? Yeah, that's just to show that, oh, now we are being in charge or what? I don't get it. Why don't you just let the Fecafoot do their job?
That is the problem.
For big Cameroonian, not easy. To be a Cameroonian it's not an easy task. So far, do you think Eto'o has been doing very, very fantastic?
Well, honestly, when it comes to experience, I think Samuel Eto'o has it all. He has all the experience that is needed in football business, and he has not failed. He has not disappointed since he ascended that position as head of Fecafoot. But now it has a lot to do with the kind of people who are beneath him. First of all, if you do not have 100% support from all the people that from all the different levels, it will be difficult for people to see the progress that you are making or the progress that you are bringing as far as your job is concerned. Now, being the FA president means that he is responsible for anything concerning football in and out of Cameroon, especially on the national and international level. Let me read this comment, guys. This just tells how some government officials are just shadow representative, telecommanded, like a TV set. Exactly. But Samuel Eto'o doesn't fall under this category because he is not in that sphere. He doesn't operate like that. Now, the question I was going to answer was, do I think he's been doing enough for the nation? Yes, I think that he has brought a lot of change. You and I know how much football is being underlooked in Africa. If you look at football exports in Africa, they are just the best. There is no team that is doing well in Europe that doesn't have African players playing for that team. All right, African stars are doing so well out there, but back in the continent, I'm talking now on a global scale. Back in the continent, they're not doing well back in the continent because the first division, just like we have the La Liga and the Premier League, I think that of South Africa is doing fine, that of Egypt is doing fine, that of Tunisia, Morocco, just a couple of them are doing well, but a football nation like Cameroon has nothing to write home about when it comes to football, local football. Nigeria, they have nothing to write home about when it comes to local football. You understand? So Samuel Eto'o came in with a vision to build or to create something like they have over there in Europe. So because of that, now he now brought in certain kind of improvements or changes that has brought him more enemies than friends. Yes.
So yeah, I get that.
Martin, thank you so much.
Someone Eto'o charisma not get level, definitely.
Yes.
But inside of me, I feel like there is a character issue going on with Samuel Eto'o. I know he has everything, but there is this, this blood thing. I don't know if I should say that. Once from Newville, always from Newville. Because I still put a question mark why your players will go to the ministry instead of you. And aside from that, we have other things that we can see that yes, Eto'o has it all. Ebonge Martin, so definitely say yes. But I think deep down I used to hear people say, oh, he's a Fecafoot president, but then he was going to players changing, is he changing rooms, or he was acting as the coach. I believe that was when Song was the coach.
Okay.
People didn't like that. Yeah.
I did not answer you completely before, so just hold on with this question. Let me answer you completely, because we need to define issues here. We need to give foundations here so that we can better understand how these things started. All right. So now I was going to tell you that because you asked about local football and I was explaining that to you. There are lots of changes that Samuel Eto'o has brought to Cameroonian football that has ended him lots of enemies than friends. Okay. Take for instance MTN Elite 1 and 2. That is like the Cameroonian Professional Football League. These players were playing without insurance. Did you know that? Can you imagine that a whole professional league players are playing without insurance? When Samuel Eto'o rose to power, he made it a criteria for every club president to register all the players and then have insurance. Can you imagine that you have a football career of say 10, 15 years, 25 years as a footballer in Cameroon, and you go home when you're retired, you have no pension to your name. So that has changed, because for your documents to be completed, to deposit with Fecafoot, so you get your, because there's this yearly, will I say allowance, or what, prim, they call it prim. I don't know how it's called in English, but in French it's prim. There's this prim that they give to each club to run their activities. So if you need to compile some documents, put them together so that you'll be able to qualify for this prim. But now, if you don't have these documents completed, one of the criteria in that document was to register all your players and make them have insurance. So all of them have been registered with insurance company, wherein if they have accidents, the insurance company is going to take care. If they retire, they are going to.
Junior, your place there, Bogama is on your flowers.
Thank you so much, Martins.
I've learned a lot from you, to be honest. I didn't know this.
See, you have lots of talents that if you don't come on live like this and then exercise them, they're just going to be silent. What drives me actually is I like information.
Why you're giving us this very juicy fact? Honestly, you see why I said that people don't, because people are so used to, I don't know if I should say ben things or mago things. I don't know how to put that in English. So when you come now, someone like Eto'o comes now to do things the right way, people feel threatened.
Exactly.
People feel intimidated.
Exactly.
People start acting like, oh, if you are savvy, because maybe behind they were doing their own political, take their own small thing. And now somebody wants to do it right. Somebody wants to do the right thing, and he's doing the right thing. And
he instead has enemies.
Threatened here. So go on, give us the juice, girl.
Martin says he wants to invite to read the. See, I'm not too used to these things. I'm more on YouTube than on Facebook. I'm just trying out Facebook now. I'm more on YouTube. I'm more popular on YouTube than on Facebook. But if you think you can invite whoever you're inviting, do well, right? We're just talking. Today is Sunday. We are home, not doing anything. We can just, vibe from time to time when there is.
Don't be like home. Join the live, and you can also add yourself. And if you want to contribute,
yes, if you have contributions, you can just send requests and we'll put you so you can. Because I don't have all the facts, okay, but I know some things, so I'm trying to explain.
That's
so, like I said, the insurance was one of the main things they had to do before they were going to be confirmed, let me put it that way, to have their prims paid to them. Now, the second thing that made Eto'o lots of enemies as president of Fecafoot was he was keen on the fact that player salaries must be increased. Before, they paid players 50,000, 80,000, 20,000. Some clubs will just bundle all of the players in the same, let me not rush it. So he said that there's supposed to be a criteria for salaries. If a player is playing in category A, they are going to take home, say, 250K. If they're playing in category B, 200K. League A, the A league, and then B league, I think 20, and then all these other championships. Yes, there was much improvement upon the players. Now the FA presidents did not like this because this is removing money from their pockets. Remember that not only 11 players.
Exactly. When you come to do the right thing, people now start feeling afraid because of how they've been, stealing behind.
Yes, they have been making the owners of the club presidents have been making a lot of money as far as football is concerned because they take everything.
Thank you, Sheriff.
I need to add Sheriff. He has things to say, but I don't find him. When I try to add him the normal way, I don't find him. Sheriff, please, can you send a request? Just look where there is a double. How will I explain that one now?
You have to look where there's a.
All right, just look. Yes, it looks like two people. Just click there. He has a lot to say. I've been trying to add him since, but I'm not succeeding.
You have a lot to say. Come on, girl. Right?
So, like, let me greet my audience. My friends watching on YouTube, thank you for joining. Thank you for being so patient. I have my co-host on Facebook. We are talking a lot. Yes, we are giving you the juice as far as Samuel Eto'o is concerned and his job at Fecafoot. For those of you who don't know Samuel Eto'o is Cameroon's FA president. Fecafoot is Cameroon Football Federation. Okay, so he's been having a lot of challenge being the president of Cameroon Football Federation. That is Fecafoot. So we are discussing some of the challenges he's been facing so far. Of course, we are not only going to say the positive aspects of Samuel Eto'o. We are also going to castigate him. Yeah, but let us begin with the good things, okay? Some other African countries, nationals from some other African countries feel that Cameroonians are not celebrating Eto'o enough, that he is a living legend. Yes, that is true. That is because Eto'o at the national level has a lot under his belt. At the international level has a lot under his belt. Even at the level of Africa as a continent, he has done so much to raise the flags of African countries so high. Yes, he is an important personality.
Some people don't make me uninstall YouTube.
Say some people do how?
Don't make us uninstall YouTube. I know why you talk so.
I tell you, sir.
YouTube not like that. Don't want, girl.
Yeah, so back to the topic. So I was listing out some of the things that have made Samuel Eto'o so unpopular as Fecafoot or Fecafoot president. That's Cameroon Football Federation president.
Some of the good things, guys. Some of the good things that has.
Yes.
Not the bad
Unfortunately, these good things has made him a bad guy. Unfortunately, these good things has made Samuel Eto'o a bad guy, according to would I say the population, the press. So now I was talking about salaries. He gave limits how much a player in the category A, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, he gave the salary limit. Now this did not go well with the club owners because before that time some of them did not even pay their players adequately. He also improved the living standards of the players. Yes, it is law in Cameroon that the Division 1 players are supposed to live and enjoy the same hospitality the national team is enjoying today. All right, when the national team come to Yaoundé, they stay in Hilton. So when the Division 1 team is playing, when the Division 1 teams are playing in Yaoundé, they are also being hosted in Hilton. Thank you so much for joining my live. When they are in Douala, for instance, they are in Montfebe. Montfebe. Well, any hotel that the national team stays in, yes, that is where the Division 1 is also supposed to stay. So you can see that it is a story from grass to grace. They give them that hospitality, make them feel that value, make them have that urge, to give in their best because of what they stand to enjoy if they proceed and do well in their football career. They don't want them to go out and discover the good things outside, but Eto'o brings it to them right in here. Now,
Wow.
this also did not sit well with the FA. This also did not sit well with the club presidents because they are supposed to be responsible for this hospitality. FA president has decreed and declared that this is where you people are going to stay. Who makes the payments? The club presidents. So they are not happy. So a host of them have been writing crazily against the FA president, and they don't want him in that position because he has locked all those doors that were not that have been opened for them to benefit. There's no way.
With all these goodies that you're telling me, all this goodness, why did players choose to go to Yaoundé instead of Douala?
Be my read comments.
Okay.
Some Ebonge says some people don't make we all on uninstall YouTube, but I never call no my I bet YouTube the game, but YouTube the game. Go follow me for YouTube contemporary views.
For YouTube soon.
Oh, Sheriff is trying to join, but it's not going. Sheriff, maybe try to join on YouTube, please. Try to join on YouTube. Eto'o is being fought and resisted because a large majority of 237 youths are asking him to drive towards Eto'o. That fear. So, no, Siame. Ma talk the one for country talk. Maxi, ma talk the one for country talk. Yes. May no one no try ask me question. Ma talk the one for country talk. You see that matter for Eto'o so now. You see if you know say na no go zone. No place where they born you, no place where you grow. You see if you know. You understand? And then if you want check na palava youth and then with it in relation to Eto'o, me and you know say Eto'o no dey where you them. You know so right? You know the thing wey concern Eto'o na only football. All the thing the way they do, it be directed, it be channeled to football where it will make am be better. Finish. You know, gonna nothing to do with una and youth and una Eto'o. Me and you know say Eto'o na no go zone. Guys, thank you so much for joining my live. You're welcome to my live. If you're joining in for the first time, my name is Jillian and you're welcome to Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss contemporary issues, trending issues happening all around the globe. No matter the topic, I bring it here to you fresh so that you can understand and follow. So if you are joining in for the first time, do well to like the video, subscribe on the page or on the channel so that you get notifications when next I am live. And today we are discussing Samuel Eto'o and Fecafoot. Samuel Eto'o, for those of you who don't know, Samuel Eto'o is a Cameroonian born, yes, best player ever on the African continent, most decorated player. Guys, please do not be jealous. He won. He worked hard and gained all of that. I'm not giving it to him just because I feel so. No, he has a lot going on for him on the African continent, internationally, as well as in his country. He is currently serving as the Football Federation president, and a lot has been going on around him. So just as I was saying, I mentioned a couple of reasons why he has a lot of enemy when it comes to Cameroon football business, because he has changed a lot of things that have not been going on well. So critical thinkers, you were asking something?
Yeah, I was just saying that with all this positive impact that Eto'o has made, regarding the Cameroon football, why did players choose Minisef going to Yaoundé instead of Fecafoot that called them?
Okay, now, like I said, I don't have details of why the players had to go down to Yaoundé instead of going directly to Garoua. I don't have that details, but if you ask me personally, the way I look at it, it is some form of betrayal. Eto'o, you see the way he is very enthusiastic about football in Cameroon. He has not treated the players like boss and workers. He has treated the players like team, including him. He encourages them at the level of the pitch. He encourages them at the level of the locker room. He encourages them at the level of the hotel. This is a sportsman who is enthusiastic about sports. He is enthusiastic about results. He is doing things that he's not supposed to be doing for these guys.
He even said he's not been on salary.
Yes, and it is not the first time. While he was playing, he still was not collecting salary from the Cameroonian government. Why? Just because he wanted that money to be used to solve some kind of problems that are happening around the football milieu in Cameroon. So now for him to be the FA president and then write to their clubs to ask them to come down to Cameroon to participate, and they choose to listen to the minister, I want to believe that that is a very, very not so nice way. That's a betrayal. But what I don't understand is why would the players choose to do that? The question here is what transpired. No player has come out to discuss this issue. That is why I don't know what to say, because no player has come out to discuss this issue so far. But during the Nations Cup, another incident just like this one also occurred. Yes, Andre Onana, Manchester United goalkeeper, current goalkeeper of Manchester United, was driven out of the camp. He was sent away. For so many weeks, nobody knew what happened. Eventually, it led to the rise of Epasi, who was the goalkeeper in the match, even in the matches that followed after Onana left, and then during Brazil's match where Cameroon beat Brazil. Yeah, that incident led to the rise of Epasi, who was introduced to the world that time. So, but after a couple of weeks, the captain of the team, Vincent Abubakar, he made a press release stating that there was a quarrel in the locker room and that Andre Onana was rude to the coach at the time. That is Rigobert Song. So the coach could not take indiscipline, that he was indisciplined, and the coach could not take that. The coach had asked him to do a public apology, which he denied, and then the coach had to kick him out of the team. That decision did not sit well because it was not a strategic decision. We needed that player at the time, but the coach rather let his ego above his judgment. Yes, and he kicked out a very important piece of the team at the time he was needed the most, and that had a collateral damage on the team, and that is how their World Cup tournament ended. They could not go beyond that. But in as much as he left, we still had one achievement, to have beaten Brazil after 22 years. Yes, Cameroon has been the only African country so far that how do they call that? It's a record. Yes, we have it on record that Cameroon is the only African team that has beaten Brazil twice. Yes, in a span of 20 years. It's not easy for them. We give them the credit. So the World Cup had to end for them because the coach's ego was above his judgment, and he kicked out a viable player at the time he was needed the most. So issues internally had begun long before. It did not only start now. It's been happening for a couple of months now.
Okay. Wow. It's a whole lot going on. It's not easy to run things in the country. It's not easy where, you have to be answerable. Everybody wants to be the head. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody just wants to give instructions. Nobody wants to take instructions. So it's kind of difficult. And I really feel for Eto'o. I really feel for him because he's doing his best, to be honest. And I think I'll just digress a bit. I just feel like this is how we should do it. You go out there, you learn, you get the knowledge, and you go back home and you try to make things better for your country. That's how we should do it in every sector, not only football, health sector, every sector, agriculture, every sector should benefit from what we learn. I mean, Eto'o is doing an amazing job. Unfortunately, but I think with time it's gonna sink it. With time, people would mellow. People would come to that reasoning. People would understand that there's a better way to do things.
You
So
and I
that's
know
what I
that
really.
you and I know that change is not acceptable,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
especially
yeah.
in an
Change.
economy that is not working. Because in an economy
Mm,
that is working, change is welcomed. But in an economy that is
yeah,
not working, change is not acceptable. People just
yeah,
want
yeah,
things to
yeah,
be the way it is so that they keep benefiting. They don't care about the others. So this has been
yeah.
going on for such a
Selfishness.
long time. It has been going on for
Mhm,
such a long time.
mhm.
So Eto'o coming into this Fecafoot and then bringing all of these changes has not been welcome, especially by those who are doing well financially. But what they are failing to understand is the general public as a whole stands to lose a lot if things are not being fixed. Now, coming to a rotten economy like this one and starting from the top to fix things can never work. He needed to go down to the
It's gonna
roots to
struggle.
start
Yeah.
making things right. So exactly that is what he did, and that has earned him only more and more hate, more and more enemies. Now, one thing I would like for us to talk about now is his character as a person. So many people, especially Cameroonians, are unappreciative of everything he is doing because of his character, they say. Okay. Now, let me speak on a personal basis, then I'll speak on a general basis. Personally, right? I don't want to use the word I don't like Eto'o. Personally, he doesn't move me. Personally, I don't admire him. Personally, I don't like the way he does some things. But I can never deny Samuel Eto'o his glories. This is a man who has worked. You understand? Everything that he has today.
It's inspiration to every young Cameroonian that
Exactly.
your dreams are valid.
Exactly. Everything that he has today, he has earned it in front of everybody. We all saw it. It's not like he was born into a rich family and then they bought things for him just like they are buying things. No. He was born in New Bell in Douala. If you know where New Bell is, there's a central prison in his neighborhood. That
No,
is
you
where
like
he grew up.
somehow Kumba when they say Kumba.
Yes, yes. New Ben, another worse quarter than Budwala, But out of where he was born, inside that ghetto where he was born, he rose up to be an international star, worshipped and adored by all races. So he plays the whether una like him or not, he
It's an
plays the.
inspiration to be honest.
Yes, he plays the.
Yeah.
Now, some people say that Eto'o is arrogant. All of you watching me, you all have shit character that you are not proud of. Yes, yes. So his own should not be an rather than the positivity of people. 10 years ago, he could be a rude person, but I don't believe 10 years after he is still that person. 15 years ago, be a tout. I don't believe that he is still a tout today. So many people fail to understand is change is constant. Change. The moment somebody sees that certain things are not working out well for them, it is affecting their career, it is affecting their relationship, their jobs, they begin to look for ways to change. Take for instance Suarez. There's a player called Suarez. He has yes. Anytime you mention the name Suarez, that's what first comes up. He went for therapy. He went for therapy. He was suspended like 2 or 3 times because of that. He stopped. He is still thriving in football today. This is not the case with El Hadj Diouf, Senegalese striker. Diouf spat on so many people's faces. He was noted for that. They knew him for that. They banned him more than twice for that. But he could not curb these bad habits. Yes, he speak for your face. You talk for you spit for your face. You see all that racism bullshit, then no just spit for your face one time. You call inside fee, spit for your face inside fee. He did not care. That alone ended El Ju's career. But Suarez went for therapy, and he's still playing today. He's a fantastic player. So people should not base their judgment on the bad things people did in the past. I want to believe that ever since Samuel Eto'o became FA's president, that rudeness that people say he is rude is no longer there. Whatsoever he is fighting at the level of Fecafoot today, I believe it is his right. He's not fighting for something that he is not supposed to be fighting for. One thing many people in Africa are failing to understand is, in leadership, when you are being elected to a public office, it means that you are the choice of the people. You are the people's choice. But if you are being appointed to that office, you are the choice of the government and not the choice of the people. Now, in this case, Samuel Eto'o was elected to that office. This means that there were other people vying for that position, but he was the best at the time because it was the people's choice. So can they leave him to work? Can they let him be? The minister is appointed. Tomorrow, for crying out loud, he can be transferred. He can be deposed. Anything can happen. But with the FA president, his tenure must go to an end. That's the difference. So people start judging him now from his rudeness in the past, from being arrogant and all of that. It really doesn't make sense to me, because everybody has a silent chapter in their lives they are not willing to read aloud. And when it comes to that, you don't judge people by their past, and you don't judge people by their moments of weakness. I'm not supporting the guy. I'm not speaking on his behalf. I'm just being logical here. Remember, on contemporary views, we say it as it is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, yeah. I really I love him. It's an inspiration. Like when you see him, you see that hard work pays.
Exactly.
And for me, my own downside, I had two downsides of Samuel Eto'o, which you clarified one behind. First of all, I said that yes, I'm a Cameroonian. We are Cameroonians, and Cameroon is bilingual. Eto'o is a really big name. And me, you told me that you've heard him, but I have never heard Eto'o say one word in English. You know, I've seen all, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kylian Mbappe. These are people born in typical maybe French countries or Portuguese countries. But when you see this guy, Cristiano, you hear him speak. Somehow he tries to speak in English. So I had that kind of resentment. But you told me that he's done a lot of interviews in English, which I've never seen. But I mean, if you're saying to me, you've come across one. So that aside, I am not. I am a man, Genius. Sorry, I know Genius. Sorry. I am not political, guys. Okay, I'm not political, but I am from Anglophone Cameroon. I am not political. Say it again. And Cameroon is bilingual, yes, but we all know, we have seen it. It's not a secret. It's not a bad thing. We've seen what has gone on in the English part of Cameroon or region. We've seen it, the killings, everything that has happened, the predicament, everything, the bloodshed. For me, honestly, I still find it uneasy that somebody like Eto'o, like everybody loves him, Anglophone love him, everybody love him. This guy has never said one word.
All right.
You don't have to be. Wait. You don't have to be political. I am not political. I'm not a politician. I don't want to be a politician. Yeah. But you don't have to be political to call a stop to the amount of blood that we have seen. I'm sorry. It's not politics, but it's just what is happening. We see it every day, it's on the news. So it's not something that we shouldn't speak about. So I feel like for somebody in his power, not haven't ever said, like, stop. Like, I mean, I'm saying that everybody likes Eto'o. Cameroonians like him. And then I say Cameroonians, I mean all of us. francophones or anglophones, but he has never for 1 second said stop. I'm saying this because I think us, we are very, very like passive. It's okay, you know, anglophones don't care. But in other countries, for example, I'll say maybe let's say maybe UK, America, a celebrity like that showing so much indifference in something like that, it's a huge concern. It's a huge concern, and people would forever hold you for that. So that's what I have against him. That's what I feel like. You know what? But anyhow, we still like him. But that's my main downside on it. Though I find it so inhumane. Let me put it that way. That with all that has happened, we've seen it. The tears, you know, everything that has happened, the blood. He has been so indifferent. And he went to, was it Limbe? And he said, Limbe, everything is okay. So that's the only thing I'm like, but unfortunately, from what I see, a lot of, all of us and the folks are very passive about it. Everybody just likes him. But like I said, that's something I find really inhumane. Somebody who has you never know, just one word, it might make a difference. It might cause people to, you know, drop their whatever they are doing there. Just one word, let peace reign. You don't have to be political. I am not political, but you don't have to be political to call for peace and to say no to bloodshed, and which he has never done.
All right. Before I say something based on what you have said, I would first of all like to announce to you. I'm sure you don't know, right? I have my degree. I have my degree in politics. The politics you see on the streets, you read in the paper, is not what is being taught in school, and it is not what is being expected for graduates of politics. The politics you see politicians practicing is not what is expected of the theory in politics. All right. For political reasons, he may not be able to do the things that you want him to do. You understand? For political reasons. First of all, you know that Cameroon is a democratic country, which is not democratic at all. You know that, right? Or the definition of democracy that you know is really not practiced, or it's not practical in that country. All right. I don't want to delve into politics. I'm going to remove my shoes.
That's why I said I am not. This is not me saying that politics.
No, I just want to prove something to you right now.
You don't have to be political, you know.
I just want to prove something to you now.
You don't have to be political to peace. You just have to be human. That's the word. You just have to be human.
Watch this.
Especially when it's your country. Please, peace. Okay? Yeah, go on there.
You have infrastructure. Why you don't organize your people? What problem you have?
Do you recognize him?
I don't know if you can do better. I don't know. But I think all African general need to organize better food.
This is in Cameroon.
Can't give you money. The sponsor give you money. You have talent. You have infrastructure. Why you don't organize your food?
That's one.
You don't have project.
This is in South Africa.
He's an incredible player. If he's,
do you recognize the guy in black?
He's going to win Ballon d'Or.
Of course.
He's an incredible player. When
That's
I
our
know
boy.
all the time, I joke with Disney.
That's in South Africa.
Enjoy playing with them.
In Mallorca.
Really?
Yeah.
More than Barcelona?
More in Barcelona.
Hold on. There's more.
All the big
You don't get
a lot
prepared.
of people come.
I like that place. Send it to my WhatsApp place.
The president of
Wow, good one. I'm happy. Ella wants me to do a ballon for her now.
la mauvaise décision de rester. Beaucoup de volonté, je dirais.
Anyway, the others are not loading. Well,
Wow.
that's it. Yes, because myself, I was really not so happy about this situation. But what many people don't know is when they say a player is an international player, it has a lot to do with languages. There's no way you are going to be playing in Spain. You are from a French speaking country, you're going to play in Spain and you don't learn Spanish. The first 6 months you'll be playing for that club, you have an intensive classes, language classes you would be taking. So if you
Okay.
see a player who has played across Europe, let's say that player has played in England, in Spain,
Yeah,
in
it's in
France,
England. We played the small thing,
good,
and I
he
played
can speak,
Everton,
he
something
can
like that.
speak the languages of all those countries he's been to. Take for instance Mbappe speaks 7 international languages. It's not a joke, I have watched him do that. Eto has, I think he has a second nationality, which is Spanish nationality. He speaks French very fluently. He speaks Spanish very fluently. He speaks English, but not that fluent. But I've watched, just as I've shown you here. And then I think he speaks Russian too. Eto speaks six languages, if I'm not mistaken, including his mother tongue. So it's not a question of him not being human enough or him not trying to, express himself in his second national language in his country. I just want to believe that the avenues have not been given him. First of all,
Okay.
what many
Yeah.
people around the world know that Cameroon is a French-speaking nation. There's a there's a high probability for you to meet other people from other countries, and then if they understand French, they'll first of all speak to you in French. Nigerians
Yeah.
who are the closest to Cameroon, they know that Cameroon is a French speaking country. When they see Cameroonians who speak fluent English, they are surprised. Ghanaians, they are surprised. If you go to Europe, they speak to you in French if you say you are Cameroonian, because Cameroon is majority French speaking. Now, when they say Cameroon is 80% French and 20% English, I think it is not visible at all. I think it is 95% French and 5% English. The reason being that the English zones have been infiltrated by the Francophones as well. So you would find them speaking French and English in the English zones, and in the French zones, it's just French. So you get the
Yeah,
point now. So
yeah.
there's a
Yeah, in
very
the sense
high
of
probability.
yeah.
There's a very high
Because
probability.
nowadays you see that well that even our celebrities they'll try if they are doing interviews, they try and speak French and English.
Exactly.
A French person, French maybe the one or your own, they won't don't have time to do that. Maybe the most they can do is maybe do the writing in English, but then nobody will sit there and speak French and translate for you in English.
No
but
way.
we struggle to always, nobody will do that. But you see us, we try to, it's definitely 95%, as you say. Yeah.
It is visible. I've been all around I've been around, and then I do a lot. I live online practically, so I do a lot of research. This is me. This is the kind of life I don't like to hear things from people. I like to understand things. I go to the foundation, try to investigate things the way they look like, the way they, to get that bottom facts, those facts. So based on that, people think it is 80-20. No, it is 95-5. That is it. There is no institution in the English speaking regions that don't have their bosses who are French speaking. No one. In the English zones, in the English regions, you have both French and English, but in the French region, you have just French. Take for instance, if you go to the East, for instance, it is possible for you not to see a typical Anglophone there, over there. In a population of say 1,000, you can see just 2 or 3, 4. That's a fact.
Yeah, we don't help it as well because we try to just we just try to, I don't know if I say go with the flow or even just be French, like more like French. Like, so I don't blame the system as well.
Not that they want, not that they are trying to be French. What actually happens is if you want to progress in anything in Cameroon, you'll be using French as your medium of communication. If you don't use French, you have other people. Now, the bulk of my followers on both platforms, this is Facebook, this is YouTube. The bulk, number 1 is USA, number 2 is South Africa, number 3 I think India, number 4 UK, number 5 Brazil, and then you now have Nigeria, Namibia, Swaziland, Eswatini, some kind of country themselves are not even know. Cameroon no dey follow me. That's just it. Okay, but if it is a typical francophone blog, Cameroonians are there. Lots of them are there. That's just it. It's easy to see a blog with 1 million followers in Cameroon, but it's a French. It cannot be an English. If it is an English, bulk of the followers are out, not here. Yeah, so we have digressed a lot. Back to Samuel Eto'o and
rounding up to, I don't know how many hours now.
1 hour 30. So based on his achievements, he has achieved so much for the people of Cameroon and for the people of Africa as well. He is selling the football culture to the world. He's still an ambassador, I think, for FIFA. He's a FIFA ambassador, he's a UNESCO ambassador, 1xBet ambassador. Why I am naming all of these achievements, especially the personal ones, is because many people feel that he is sticking to his position at the helm of Fecafoot because of the money. No. Eto'o is a rich man.
How can he be taking money? He's not even on salary. He doesn't take salary.
People are saying that. People are saying that. But this man is a very, very rich man. Remember that sometime in 2014 or thereabout, he was the highest paid player in the world ever when he was playing for I think that Russian club Angi Makashkala. He was the highest paid player ever. His contract with 1xBet, I think it goes for $100 million yearly. I'm confused between the one for UNICEF and the one for FIFA, but it has a lot going on. He is the face of a couple of drinks. He is also brand ambassador for a lot of companies, sport betting companies, sport gear producing companies, a lot. He has a lot going on for him that brings him money personally. So if it was someone who was so greedy, he would just buy an island in this world, sit in that island and reign as king in that place. But no, he decided to come back home to give back to the local population what he has learned and what he has achieved. There's a player that I like very much, a Senegalese player, Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane is not being reported on the news because he lives a low profile life, but he does a lot for his community. You see Samuel Eto'o, Sadio Mane is from a community called Bamale in Senegal. Yeah. Atimba Mali, that's how they call that. So he's done so much for that community. But Samuel Eto'o has not done only for his community. He's built a whole stadium with a football school in Gabon. He tagged an entire district road from a native province in Ivory Coast and linked it to their capital city in Abidjan.
Who did that? Somebody told you that?
Yes. He has lots of football projects going on around Africa. He has friends, he has connections, he has money, he has people at the right places, and he is making it easy for African footballers to make it in Europe. There are numerous footballers that he has aided them to glory. Andre Onana is one of them. That they started from the football school, he found their career till date, and they're making it. Do you know that he gets a commission from any signing that Onana makes? He gets a commission.
I didn't know.
Yes. Those are jobs he did 5-10 years back, and he didn't know it was going to pay off like this, and it is paying off. And that's not the only person under his belt that he has that kind of arrangement with. So this man is doing so much for the African people, not only for Cameroonian people, but for the African people.
We need one of those projects in the Northwest.
Well, in the Northwest, they had fields that had been abandoned when he rose to fame. All these fields were reconstructed.
I'm pulling your legs.
No, maybe some people watching did not know what he has done for the Northwest so far.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
So I want to believe that even if they say it's a bad man, he is this, is that, he is a necessary evil, because the good he has done, I think it outweighs the bad.
I like that it's a necessary evil.
It outweighs the bad. For those people who don't appreciate him now, what I have to say is, a prophet has never been recognized in his hometown. And a legend.
And you know that sometimes it's only when you're not around that people start seeing, people realize your importance or what you've done for them. So for now, I think Eto'o should just keep going. Go on. Sorry for cutting.
That's okay. Roger Milla used to be a very prominent player, Africa's treasure, but this man was forgotten. Did you realize that it is only when Eto'o rose to fame, after he retired and rose to the level of Fecafoot, that Roger Milla is getting some kind of fame? In South Africa, he was celebrated. In France, he was celebrated. What happened? Why was this man forgotten?
Even here, every person, I've met a lot of people. When I say I'm from Cameroon, the first person they ask me is not even Eto'o, it's Roger Milla.
Good.
Roger Milla. I mean, I was shocked. A lot other people, Roger, I said, yeah, they said, oh my God, that man. So Roger Milla is there.
That was a player who had the potential to change a game in only 2 minutes. But this man was not celebrated. This man was forgotten. But when Eto'o rose to fame, he held the hand of this man. And this man has been given his place in the African continent. He has been given his place. No, they'll be playing.
After recent post, he's standing up for Eto'o concerning all this football, Fecafoot.
Because he knows. Imagine all that talent that he had at his time. Football did not have money the way it has money now. How much were they paying the players at that time?
No means that they have now.
So now he must stand for the truth. If football in Cameroon must progress, we need the legends.
Yeah.
They have the experience that we need. First of all, everybody who is being trained in NAM as administrator, they all lack experience. That's a fact. You are being appointed a minister because a NAM trained you as an administrator. You are being appointed a governor because a NAM trained you as an administrator. But you're going to face challenges because you lack the know-how to operate that office that you have been given. But Eto'o is just the right man for the job. Why? He has experienced all levels of football. He started in a football academy in Africa. He played in Africa. He progressed to Europe. Still entered football academy there. Started getting good clubs. He first of all started with the small clubs, entered big clubs, and then he made it. Still decided not to live in Europe with all that he has. Came back home. When he was a footballer, he wasn't that educated. Thank you so much, Mr. Kanye. He wasn't that educated. But after his football career, he went to school. Let me tell you something. Language is the most difficult thing to learn, especially when you are an adult. With a child can learn 5 languages simultaneously, but when you are already an adult, it is a little bit challenging. But he proved us wrong and learned so many languages in an adult age. So if you find someone who is able, who can learn a couple of languages, who is already an adult, indeed that person is having a very high IQ. That person is very intelligent. So no matter how they try to castigate him, they say he's authoritative, they say he's this, is that, he is that necessary evil the country Cameroon needs, because he has the experience. He knows what he is doing at all levels. He has the right connections. You can see him playing bonus matches all around the world. When a player is retiring, they call him to go and play. When it's a gala match, they call him to go and play. There's nothing happening about football or CAF or FIFA that is not being called. He receives a VIP invitation. When they say he's going to other countries, they hail him, they adore him, they worship him. Let me put it that way. But back in his own home, no respect. Even Ayu is a Ghanaian player. He also said it in an interview that he feels that Samuel Eto'o is being underrated in his country. That is so true. I don't know if they are waiting for him to pass on, because it is usually like that. When someone is alive, they don't appreciate that person. When that person passes on, that is when they want to show him all the respect they would have given him.
Yeah.
So for me, based on the issues with happening or going on with Fecafoot, I just want to believe that this is a battle that is not necessary. This arm wrestle, this bad affair is not necessary. I want to believe that he is the right man for the job, and they can allow him, they should allow him.
He is 120% the right person for the job.
To exercise his abilities, his experiences, as far as that position is concerned. He has what it takes to be in that position. First of all, he was elected to that position. Secondly, he has a wealth of experience. Thirdly, he has all the connections that you can imagine. Fourthly, he is rich enough to even buy the entire country. What the hell are they saying? So he is the perfect fit for the job.
So should we run up? It's almost 2
Yes.
hours.
Yeah. You go with your last words and then we conclude the show.
For me, I'm going to say that I'll continue to say that Eto'o is an inspiration to every young person out there, whether Cameroonian or not. Eto'o should inspire you that your dreams are valid. And so long as you put in the work, you put in the resilience, you can get to that dream or that goal that you want. And I think Eto'o should be an example. Yeah, this is somebody who has achieved everything. He has the money. He came out. He went out of the country. He lived in Europe. He had the experience. That's the core of it, the experience. And he went back home. I believe that it should inspire not only the football people in the football sector, but every other sectors. We've seen healthcare. The healthcare system is something else. It's something else in Cameroon. I'm not sure about Nigeria. The healthcare, and a lot of us or people are out there with this wealth of knowledge and experience using it to better Oyibo man's country. We can emulate Samuel Eto'o, going back to make things work, make things better. It can be difficult. It can be very difficult. Of course, we've seen the challenges that Samuel Eto'o has faced because people are not used to it. People are used to stealing money in the back, creating personal wealth. So if you come now with the right thing, they will resist you. They might even want to unleave you. But I think we together, let's just say that together we can make things work. So thank you, Jillian, for this wonderful show. And definitely, Eto'o is right up there, unshakable. And it's just me having my own negative side of him. I hope people didn't take it for it's not me being political. It wasn't me being political, just watching stuff and feeling like that. But Eto'o, it plays there right for me, and he's just the number one for Fecafoot and for Cameroon football, and even for African football, he's the number one.
Thank you so much, Critical Thinkers. Yes, guys, I want to tell you, Critical Thinkers, that for you to feel the way, or for you to have felt the way you did for this man or against this person, is because you are human. Probably there's a lot of information that you did not have, that you did not know, that in this day you've known, and then I believe that your views about him would have changed a bit. Okay, that's to you. Now, generally, I think that Cameroon is a country that does not applaud competence. They don't applaud that's mediocrity, right? Is in them.
Yeah.
Yes, they appreciate mediocre performances than very, very good, or what's the word? The word is slipping my mind. Merit. They don't appreciate merit. They appreciate mediocrity more. So it has gone a long way.
People try to force round pegs into square holes.
Exactly.
Just people want to force round pegs into square holes. That's just how it has been. That's how it is. And I think Eto'o is trying to make things better.
Okay. Secondly, Cameroon is that country that does not take healthy competition into consideration. If they see that this country is doing this and it is helping them out, it is only okay to copy. You see, my Niger people, copy fi kill us. We can copy for Africa. Yes. And you see copying, they are making it.
All bloggers are copying and pasting.
Yes. And they are blowing. In fact, they are hammering. They are going places with copy. Yes. Don't try. Even if their copy is not good, they will still copy. Yes, my Nigerian people are not joking. When it comes to copying, they can copy you. You understand? So I want to believe that our Cameroonian neighbors can begin to emulate copying. Positive competitions are good. If you see that this FA is doing better because their players are riding in a good bus, una copy them. If you see that Brazil is building a monument in honor of Pelé, Argentina is doing one in honor of Maradona, copy it. Copy is good. The attitude that makes Cameroon as a nation to stagnate, they dwell on the past more than the future. They dwell on the past. We are 5 times winner of Nation Cup. We are this, you can get better, for crying out loud. Which sport in this world is Cameroonians not excelling in? Na running, na sprint. na heavyweight, na judo, na lifting, na basketball, na volleyball. By now, I think that Cameroonians should have seen that sports and leisure is a field in their country that they can invest in. A country like Maldives, they thrive on tourism alone. Tanzania, tourism alone. Kenya, tourism alone. They don't have any other thing. Dubai, even before whatever came, tourism is like the main deal. Can Cameroon not be a hub for export of all sports? All. When it comes to fighting, they can fight for Africa. When it comes to football, leave it for them. When it comes to volleyball, they are there. When it comes to bodybuilding, they are there. When it comes to judo, they are there. The only kind of sports that you will not see Cameroonians excelling in are those sports that are not being practiced in Cameroon. Like all this hockey, all this skiing, anyone that is being practiced here, there's a Cameroonian that is making name for another country somewhere. They only expect for you to blow. They only expect for you to become famous abroad. Then they come and be begging you now to come back and represent their home country. This is not right.
We don't know. They don't know that they can create that atmosphere. We have the
so that sport can thrive. So that sport can thrive. I believe that this is the vision of Fecafoot president Samuel Eto'o, wherein we can be sure Brazil has how many teams? Like 4 teams always ready, standby. Their main team, if they are not available, there's a B team that is ready. If the B team is not ready, there's a C team that is ready. These are the kind of visions that the president of Fecafoot wanted for Cameroon to have, but it looks like it's not selling at all. It's not selling. These are the kind of things he envisaged for football in Cameroon, but Cameroonians will just not indulge. I am sending a strong word to the Ministry of Sports in that country, Cameroon. Yes, they have other disciplines that are doing well, not only football. Maybe they should put the same energy they are putting in football in the other, so that they can be diversification. They have lots of talents they can export, lots. But if they keep dwelling only on wrestling with the people of Fecafoot, I don't think it is spelling well for them. As we speak, Cameroon risked ban, a 4-year ban, if the tussle between their football federation and that of between the ministry and the football federation, if the issues are not being resolved, they are going to face a 4-year ban. And I want to believe they don't want that to happen to them, because if it happens, it is going to go a long way to destroy what is left.
No shame. That's no shame.
Yes, it's going to really be an embarrassing situation. Cameroon is a football nation. It has a lot of glory when it comes to that. They have done so well for themselves, in as much as things are not getting better, but they still have something they can fix to get better. So I think I have said my mind. I have said most of the things I had to say on this live today. I want to believe that based on the fact that we have updates from time to time, if we have other updates like this one, we can still come again live next time on your own platform, so that I can give my updates to your viewers, and then from then I will begin to see if we can really incorporate sports Sundays, because I want to believe that the viewers that are watching this particular show today are fanatics. They prefer this kind of content that is not original to our other contents. Usually we do lots of gossips, and but this is a fresh topic that I think that it will have its own fans who would like to join in and participate. Yes. So
wow, thank you so much. It was so interesting, Gillian. Sorry, I always call you Gillian.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you all so much for those of you watching. My friends on YouTube, please go right away to Critical Thinkers on Facebook. You would have lots of things to watch there. Follow her, like her videos, and share her works. She's a fantastic host. You like her. Thank you so much for joining the live. Viewers from Critical Thinkers, thank you so much for joining. Viewers on Contemporary Views, thank you so much for joining the live today.
Okay, I'm gonna end this so you can maybe you wanna say something. You wanna round up your.
I have already said my goodbyes. I'm thanking everybody because I've never done a long show like this. So
In another 1 minute, I have a little.
yes,
2 hours. Wow.
thank you so much. Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Your time tomorrow now. Which
Thank
time?
you, guys.
When are you live?
Share the video, guys.
What time are you live? They usually what time? 6.
Me.
Yes.
I'll let you know. You know me. Yeah, busybody. So I'll let you know when I'm coming live.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Critical Thinkers. Thank you. Bye, guys.